think what we're trying to do is to just lift the profile of Shetland food, because folk are interested in food and in where it's coming from. It's all about provenance, and that's something that we can do here by showing the actual people that are rearing, growing, catching, producing food. They're standing there behind their ingredients and being able to speak about it.
There's a pride, I think, in the food of Shetland doing and preparing that in a way that becomes attractive to the service industry.
And this year we decided to be quite bold and just take over the whole place.
This has been an incredible success this year. If you consider that by the end of Saturday they had 1,900 folk through the door, which was certainly far more as they were throughout the whole weekend last year.
I think I'm pretty clued in of buying local, but actually walking around here there's so many things that are new to me.
From kind of ordinary heritage style food, really high-end fancy food, and then all the different producers with their cakes and their fish and then coffees and beers and drinks. So the seafood industry has had a big space, and they've had chillers and sold wet fish.
What we're doing here is we're promoting the best of Shetland seafood fair, and it's important that we're here because we're the biggest food group in Shetland.
We've got some of the butchers for the first time. Andersons have been here. We've got the Walls Bakery, the Artisan Bakery in Sanus.
Again,
we had at the VIP opening was some really beautiful, delicate, high-end canapes using Shetland ingredients. Rachel Robinson was doing that. We were absolutely thrilled with the standard of the work. The Shetland Fudge Company obviously makes fudge, but a lot more stuff as well. And then as well as that, we've got the Murray Dancers. Dave Williams has done some really lovely high-end, after dinner kind of dessert type chocolate. We've got the Valhalla Brewery and the Lerwick Brewery, both of whom are very established. And then of course the Gin Distillery, who are launching something new as well. The other really interesting new product we've got is Shetland Sea Salt. Apart from the fact that individual food producers and drink producers can come along, we're using their ingredients in some of the recipes on the demonstration kitchen. We had a couple of chefs up from South, the master chefs of Great Britain, very, very keen to use Shetland produce, which was great.
It's just such fantastic fish. It really is a pleasure to be up here and see this.
We've got a lot of youngsters cooking with older folk. This idea of big chef, little chef. So we've got Kayla Marie Pottinger, who's still at primary school, up on the demonstration kitchen with Eunice Henderson. And tomorrow we've got some bairns from the Anderson High School with their teachers. And that's so important to show the public that here we are, just bairns at school, and look at what we can do, so you can do it as well.
So by now, this should be a really nice stock.
The competition came about because we knew that Martin Wishart was going to be in Shetland. He was actually on his sailing boat. Now I said to him, might he be able to come up to the food fair? And he got back to us and he wasn't able to. So I said, well, could you donate us a prize for a raffle or something? So when the prize came through, which is this incredible 6-course tasting menu with wine and champagne and chocolate, and I thought, we have to do something really quite special for this. And then Nicola Johnson from the Fudge Company organised the entries, and then we had a lovely cook-off at the Shetland College. It just happened that the 3 finalists, one chose beef for their main course, one chose lamb, and one chose fish. And my goodness, if they worked so hard. We've just been so impressed.
Wonderful.
I think Chris, who won the prize, there were so many elements and he kind of lifted the bar, and as Akshay, one of the judges, was saying, it was the kind of foraging element. It was just a pretty bit more kind of creative, I suppose, although the skills, the provenance, the presentation, the cooking skills, they were all equal, they really were.
It made it really difficult for us guys.
The Heritage Kitchen is a mixture of cooking demonstrations, from fish dishes to lamb to bannocks, and we also have stories from Davy Cooper and Shetland Firwoods.
The fruit gathering at the end of the bowl.
Poems, even reading recipes out, as well as Ian Tate is here for a number of artefacts from the museum.
What we really wanted to do was to have demonstrators and photos and artefacts that, I suppose, pat out some of the main important things.
One of the things that I was so pleased was to have this lovely Enchantress stove. I mean, I mind my granny having one like this and sitting with the pretty doors open and the pates going in. But I mean, a lot of folk have never seen one like this.
So there's hands-on experience eating, even just getting the aromas and the memories of what it's like in the Shetland kitchen.
We had Pearl Young doing kerning.
So it's nice as well because it's a mixture of teaching young folk what the traditional methods are, as well as reminiscing with folk. And it's the people who've taken their time and given their time and effort to come here that's made this so successful.
The past is so important and it informs what we're doing now and probably in the future as well.
So I think the food fair is amazing, from the local produce available to demonstrations and also looking at our heritage.
Giving folk back the skills to actually be confident to buy Shetland food and to make tasty meals out of it.
It's clearly a lot more folk getting involved in the produce industry in Shetland than in the cooking industry.
We need to recognise how important food and drink is to our islands, something we kind of take for granted.
It's good to celebrate it and actually be like, this is what we can do as an island, and isn't it fantastic?